Coming up on Mountain News this morning, Governor Andy Beshear continues his visit to hard-hit areas in our region during the historic flooding. And organizations work around the clock to get much-needed food and water to people in our region who need it the most.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News this morning.
Good morning to you. Almost 5 o'clock here on this, well, it's Wednesday. Good morning. I'm Dakota Makris. Let's take it over to Brandon this morning for a look at our forecast. And Brandon, well, the only thing I see on Doppler is what? Some ground clutter, I think?
Yep, I think we're in pretty good shape this morning, which is some great news for those folks. Remember 1 week ago, we were already dealing with some rain at this hour in the morning, but again, hopefully not a repeat, definitely not a repeat of last Wednesday night going into Thursday, but we are facing another situation today, and I got to give a shout out real fast to our friends at the National Weather Service office at Jackson for doing the right thing and breaking their criteria for a heat advisory, which usually is 105 on the heat index, and today less than 100, but you got to factor in that a lot of people don't have their homes or power back yet. But I tell you, our power crews got to give one more shout out for them. We went from 30,000+ to down to less than 5 in less than 1 week. All right, let's get into the forecast this morning. Live pinpoint Doppler radar, as Dakota said, not much showing up there this morning. Some ground clutter across parts of the region, but that could also be some fog being picked up. There is quite a bit of fog out there this morning, and you can see it on the visibility map. Logan down to less than 1 mile, along with Middlesboro, Jacksboro, and Williamsburg, so continue to be careful out there. Ashland and Harlan down to less than 2 miles, and a lot of folks on this map that are down to less than 5 miles are seeing a dense fog. Buffalo Mountain here in Perry County, it's down in the valleys this morning. Hit some on my way in from the house this morning. I actually got to go home last night. The power come back on, and we were seeing temperatures again in the 60s and 70s out there this morning. So a little cooler in spots, a little more comfortable this morning, but again, not going to last. Temperatures will soar into the low 70s as we head toward 8 o'clock this morning, and then into the 90-degree range later today. So again, take all your heat precautions and be ready. We'll have more on the forecast coming up here in just a little bit. Dakota?
All right, Brendan, thank you. Well, Governor Andy Beshear visited Pike and Floyd counties on Tuesday, hosting news conferences to update communities on statewide flood relief efforts. After announcing that federal assistance would be available for individuals in Pike and Floyd counties, the governor discussed the most important things he has seen across the Commonwealth during the flooding. He says watching neighbors come together to help each other out, especially when most of them are facing the same struggles, it's a small light in an otherwise dark time.
What you see behind us is what's possible when people come together and they care about their neighbors more than anything else. We live out those most important commandments and realize that the parable of the Good Samaritan means that every single Kentuckian, American, every person around this world is our neighbor, and it's our job to show love for them.
The governor says First Lady Brittany Beshear is working on a program to help children in the area, something he expects to have more information on in the days to come. Governor Beshear continued his tour of flood-ravaged areas in Breathitt County. The governor took time to update people on how recovery is going in the area and what people can do to receive federal assistance. While he wasn't able to put an exact number on the amount of people still missing, the governor says there is some good news from Kentucky State Police.
If there is good news, most of the people reported as missing to the Kentucky State Police have been found. They've done over 1,000 wellness checks with most everybody showing up, and as we got cell phone service in most places.
With warmer weather in the forecast, Governor Beshear also announced the creation of cooling stations in several counties. Well, we have a list of those cooling centers here in our region. In Breathitt County, it's in the county library. In Floyd County, you can go to the community center. If you're in Johnson County, you can head over to the City of Painesville Recreation Center. And for those in Knott County, you can go to the Sportsplex. People in Letcher County can go to Letcher County Central High School. If you're in Perry County, you can head to the Senior Citizen Center. If you're in Pike County, you can go to Valley Elementary School, and the cooling center in Wolfe County is the Senior Citizen Center in Campton. God's Pantry Food Bank is gathering more food to help feed families in eastern Kentucky. Semi-trucks full of food pulled up in Lexington on Tuesday. Those with God's Pantry say they're from all across the country. They say they're able to get food prepared quickly to give to families. This is something God's Pantry says it's prepared for.
We need to be ready to respond. We need to be able to help people find that pathway to stability and to be able to quickly recover from these unfortunate and devastating circumstances that folks are living in right now.
God's Pantry Food Bank will be delivering meals in all counties impacted by the flooding. A group called the Samaritan's Purse is trying to help homeowners in Breathitt County with the ongoing cleanup, but it needs volunteers to do the job. Workers spent much of the day yesterday visiting with homeowners whose homes were almost completely destroyed. Samaritan's Purse is looking to help homeowners get rid of the mess and rebuild, but the organization can't do it alone.
It is a very traumatic experience for the homeowner to see everything they own go to the curb. Probably be back this afternoon.
Okay.
Depends on how many volunteers show up.
Samaritan's Purse had at least 2 volunteers show up yesterday, but not enough to send out a team for cleanup. They hope more volunteers show up tomorrow. One business in Floyd County is working hard to rebuild, reopen, and help the community. The Garrett Fountain is just one of many businesses damaged or destroyed in the recent flooding. And owners Aaron and Amber Sparkman say that there was around 2 feet of water throughout the restaurant. Amber says although the site of this destruction to homes and businesses was hard to overcome, the region can and will build back with the help from God.
I don't think anyone would have been able to even start this process without the faith that we have in our community that God would get us through it, because it's overwhelming to look at the massive amounts of damage and loss.
Both Amber and Aaron are grateful for the help from the community. They plan to reopen this coming Friday and begin helping others in the area by gathering donations, as well as helping feed people throughout the area. Kentuckians affected by the flooding are eligible to request a refund of Kentucky sales and use tax paid when purchasing building materials. Those materials must have been used as a permanent repair or replacement of structures damaged by flooding. The refunds are good for purchases made on or after the date of the destruction declarations for individual relief up to $6,000 in tax per building. For more information about the refund, you can visit our website at WYMT.com. Thank you so much for getting your Wednesday morning started with us here on Mountain News This Morning. When we come back, a federal judge allows some more lawsuits against former President Donald Trump to move forward. We'll tell you all about that in just a few minutes.
Our severe weather alert day continues today for heat instead of storms. I'll tell you how high the thermometer could go and how hot it could feel in about 3 minutes.